Yo, what's up? I'm Dani Douglas. I came to pull up a chair with Terrell Thomas, coming from Brandon, Mississippi. Let's get it.
Terrell Thomas, TheseUrbanTimes. In this edition of Pull Up a Chair, we have a young lady who is joining us all the way from Jackson or Brandon, Mississippi. She came all the way out here to Atlanta to the LiveHipHopDaily studios to let us know what's going on with her musically and about her journey into the music business. Miss Dani Douglas, how you feeling today?
I'm feeling pretty good. What about you?
I'm good. We appreciate your time. Appreciate you coming to join us during your trip to Atlanta. Now, it's funny, our audience may have not had the opportunity to hear your music yet, but you have been teasing and dropping a lot of samples, and you're working on a lot of dope music right now. So before we talk about your music that you're currently working on, talk to me about your journey into music and when you decided that music or singing would be for you.
Okay. I started singing when I was 5. My father was a singer.
Oh, dope. Okay.
So he would push me into singing all the time. I sung in church. I think I was probably about 15 when I started recording.
Okay.
After that, I recorded a single at 18.
What was the name of that single?
Tonight.
Tonight, okay.
Yep, and that's on YouTube as well. And I wrote that one. After I recorded that one and I saw how I actually sounded in the studio, I just wanted to keep doing it.
Okay.
Yep. So.
What was the experience like with Tonight? Give us a little insight on that. With that being your first time actually recording, so I guess that was the jump. But when you decided to take music seriously, what was the song around? You were saying that you wrote it as well. Yeah. What was it about? And what was that experience like? Your first time actually being in the booth recording?
I loved being in there recording. At first, I was a little nervous, like when I first started, but I think like as I went on, the song sounded better.
Okay.
But the name of it was Tonight, and it was about it's a sexy song. Okay. Like pretty much all of my music is like sexual, okay. Kind of except for the Daz, the single that I have coming out. But yep, it was pretty sexual. So.
What was the music scene like in Jackson as you were coming up? A lot of people look at the South as always having great music. You mentioned church. A lot of music in the South. People think of the church and the gospel when they think of music here in the South. But what was the music scene, and what is the music scene like in Jackson, Mississippi?
When I was trying to promote my single there at that time, I think they like more of like a fast-paced hip-hop, rap. But my music was more slow-paced at that time. So now I'm trying to pick up my speed of the music, but back then it was pretty much faster paced than what I was doing.
Okay. You say that you let us know that you write music as well. Mm-hmm. Well, what are you currently looking for now? Are you still currently writing music as far as your singles are concerned, or are you more comfortable, or are you looking to work with songwriters?
I have not tried to write a song in probably like 2 years.
Okay.
I like writers because they can reach a different side of me that I can't. I don't want to just be one genre. Like, I want to reach all of it.
I like that.
Yeah.
I respect the hell out of that. So you mentioned Daz a minute ago, and I don't know if our audience really caught on and heard what you have there. But you have been working with a hip hop great, a hip hop legend, and Daz Dillinger. Talk to me about that, and how did your relationship with Daz come about?
Yeah. 2016, I had a friend that did videos, and he raps too.
Okay.
But he knew Daz. Well, his best friend knew Daz, and he wanted to introduce me to him. He was like, "Look, this girl, she can sing. I think her music is good, and I just want you to hear her. I want you to meet her." So he put me in front of him, and I played all of the music that I had at that time, and I wrote my own music back then, so. He was listening to it, and he felt all of it. And he was like, "Look, I want to work with you." So from that point on, we started listening to different tracks. He sent me different records. And from that point, I'm like, is he serious? Me? So, he sent the track, and I got a writer, and we wrote to it, and I sent it to him. I'm like, "Look, you like it?" He was like, "Yeah, I like it." So we just went from there.
Okay, yeah, that's hard. That's real hard. So you have a record, Daz and Big Gipp, another hip hop great, especially here in the Atlanta area. How did that all come about?
Once I started sending him the music back from when I was recording it, he was like, "Look, I like what you're doing." He was like, first he said he was going to get on it, but he was like, "I'm gonna put Gipp on it." So Gipp came down to the studio. He heard the music.
And were y'all in Mississippi or on the West Coast somewhere?
No, they were in Atlanta.
Okay,
I was still in Mississippi.
Okay.
We were just exchanging records like through email.
Okay.
But once I sent him the song back, he liked it. It's called 100 Bands. And Gipp heard it and he liked it and he wanted to get on it.
So that, as we mentioned, you've been dropping little snippets here and there via social media and your stories and whatnot. The record has not been released yet. We'll be looking forward to that. But outside of that, you're also working on another record. You mentioned a moment ago that some of your music has been a little sensual or sexual, and you have a record that you're also currently working on titled Wet. Talk to me about that record.
That one is another song produced by Daz.
Oh shit, that's hard.
I mean, it's a slow pace. It's a grown and sexy song. I love that song, so I can't wait for y'all to hear it. But yeah, we don't have a release date yet, but it is coming soon, and a video will be dropping as well.
Is it additional pressure when knowing, a gentleman like Daz who has worked with so many legendary artists, and then especially in the hip hop world, he's worked with artists in the R&B world as well. I don't think folks know about it as much as they know about his work in the hip hop or in the rap world. So what is it like working with him? And do you feel any additional pressure as a creative, knowing like, oh dang, he worked with such and such and such and such. I know I need to come with my best. Yeah,
I mean, it's Daz. He's legendary. But Daz is so humble. He is such a humble person. I would never, any celebrity, I just would never have thought, that they would be that humble like he is. But whenever I present him my music, I'm like, look, is it good enough? Did we write it good? Like, is it up to your standards? How do you like it? But I love working with him. Yeah.
Terrell Thomas, TheseUrbanTimes, sitting down, pull up a chair. Shout out to Bel Air once again, and we're sitting down with Miss Dani Douglas, straight out of Mississippi, out here in the A, doing big things. This time last year, we wouldn't have been able to, or we wouldn't have been sitting, face to face and speaking. A lot of things were taking place virtually and things of that nature. The pandemic shook things up in numerous ways in the entertainment industry and the music industry, as for creatives and for people as a whole. How did the pandemic affect you or impact you, whether it be negatively or positively, as far as your creative process and your career and everything you have going on right now?
Before the pandemic is when we started really making a lot of music.
Okay.
And I just had a lot of other things lined up. But once the pandemic hit, it kind of put you on a hold. Because it's all right, you can't do shows. Everybody was scared. We didn't know what was going on. So it affected me a lot, It affected my family, but as you think about it, you cannot live in fear. So once I started thinking about that, it's like, what am I doing? Why am I just sitting here, just sheltered in the house? I can't live in fear. I got to get back out there. So I just started back doing my thing.
I know you're also a mother.
Mm-hmm.
How has, motherhood impacted your music and your artistry?
I got to do it for my kids. I cannot leave Earth without leaving a legacy. I can't. So I want them to look at their mother and be like, man, my mama grind for me. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I do it. I do it for them. When I do that, I'm in the studio, I'm thinking of my children. They got to eat. So.
Having somebody in your corner such as a Daz, are there any artists in the future that you're hoping, or you're looking forward to, man, I would love to work with him or her. I would love to do a record with him or her. I would love to have a record produced or written by him or her. Are there any artists that you're looking forward to possibly working with in the future?
I want to work with Cardi.
Okay.
Cardi B, yeah. Who doesn't want to work with Beyonce? Meg Thee Stallion. I think those are my main three.
Okay.
Right now. But of course, there's many more.
With your 2 singles in the work, I know that you'll also be working on a project. Mm-hmm. I know that a date isn't, official or anything like that, but what would a project be centered around, and what would you want fans and the audience in which you're building to take from your upcoming project?
This one, I have sensual music, but it is adult music. So I'm focusing on a crowd between, at the age of 19 and up, or 18 and up. But just getting to know me, who I am. I try to speak through my music of who I am. So like whenever whoever is writing for me, you know, I just try to tell them who I am so that I can actually be myself in my music.
Very well said. I respect the heck out of that. What do your kids think when they see you coming, you know, from a long night at the studio, or you know, when they see mommy writing a song or listening to a record? As you mentioned, you want them to see, like, you know, that mommy is grinding for them. But what is their reaction like? And does that reaction ever humble you in your artistry?
It does. It does humble me. I know my daughter, she sings it.
Oh, that's hard.
She's like, that's my mama's song right there. You know, she'll be singing it with me in the car. My son, he's older, so, you know, he understands. Like, he understands the struggle. So he just want to see his mama make it, you know, so.
What's next for you? We're kind of here in the South. The summer is wrapping up, but it's still warm. You know, it's still summer is wrapping up. School and the fall's right back around the corner. I say when you hear football cleats coming, you know it's about time for the seasons to change here in the South. But you got some dope singles in your back pocket, so we know you're working and you're continuing to create. What's next for you as 2021 continues to move forward?
2021 is moving forward, so by the end of this year, I'm just hoping to have my singles released.
Okay.
And then start working on my EP.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you let our audience know how they can follow you via social media, how they can stay in tune with what you got going on, so they can, you know, be around when this music comes?
Right. You can follow me on Instagram at beauty_and_bold. And on Facebook, it's Dani Douglas.
Once again, Terrell Thomas, These Urban Times. We appreciate y'all pulling up. Dani, we appreciate you pulling up a chair with us today. Make sure you stay tuned. We'll be bringing you a lot of music from this young lady. We're going to catch up with you soon in the studio as well and get some behind-the-scenes footage and see what you got going on. Make sure y'all follow her. Pull up a chair. We'll be back.